Tom Cruise walks out before the World Cup final and says, "This is football. This is unity. This is greatness." 90 plus minutes later, Spain beats Argentina 1-0, and Argentina respond by trying to batter the opposition after the whistle. Welcome back to the channel, guys. Well, what a night, what a match. Spain win the World Cup. Congratulations to Spain. We love Spain. We go on holiday to Spain every year, pretty much. Congratulations. They deserve to win. It was a very hard fought game. It was tight. It was tense. There was loads of fouls, multiple cards. It was a proper war of a final. And this isn't a 4-0 humiliation. Argentina are in the game right the way to the bitter end. And remember, the whole night kicks off with Tom Cruise, the great Tom Cruise, in the middle of the MetLife pitch, talking about football as a language without words, bringing the world together, unity, greatness, all of that. Now look, you can love the speech, you can find it cringeworthy. I loved Wayne Rooney's take on the whole halftime gig. Come on, it was cheesy. But the sentiment was right. And that is what football does. Yeah. I mean, I remember during World War II, the Germans and the English on Christmas Day, they had a temporary ceasefire and they played football. Football has this power to unite people. And by God, we should be grateful to have it. But let's just look at this meltdown. It can't be described as anything other than a meltdown. So the final whistle goes. Spain celebrate a historic win, and Argentina completely lose the plot. Leandro Paredes is the main aggressor, sprints at a Spanish defender, Garcia, from behind, and he violently shoves him to the ground. And then this continues in the middle of an all-out melee. Everybody's weighing in. And this isn't just a little bit of handbags, and this is deliberate violence after the game is finished. And it ends up, he's shown a red card for violent conduct, quite rightly, but he's not alone. You know, other Argentina players start weighing in. Even staff are coming off the bench and weighing in. I've got my little boy, yeah, we're watching this together, and he's thinking, what the hell is going on? He goes to a football club. He's 7 years old. He goes and plays football. Listen, if he shoves a lad, if he's overzealous, the coach, Coach Keane, jumps in. You can't do that. You can't do that. It's sport at the end of the day. Yes, it gets physical, but this was just full on violence. The reaction, as you might expect, is ruthless. You've got headlines and social media posts calling them disgusting, a disgrace, literally shame on Argentina after those scenes. Now go back to Tom Cruise's words. This is football. This is unity. This is greatness. Let's celebrate each other. That's the tone he tries to set for the night. And I, for one, I like Tom Cruise, and I liked it. I like the messaging. I thought it was, we need a bit of that in the world at the moment, don't we? Come on. We really do need to come together as a planet. Come on. And football as a vehicle for that, I think, has been tremendous. Instead of that, which should be going viral, even if it was just because it was a cheese fest, it should be going viral. The images that are going viral should also be Spain lifting the trophy, you know, and all about that. But instead, it's Argentina players needing to be dragged away from fights, from lashing out, because they couldn't handle a 1-0 defeat against Spain. You know, this isn't like it's a Sunday league team. So for me, the question is this: did this Argentina side just expose how hollow that pre-match speech sounded when faced with reality? Or did it prove Tom Cruise right, that greatness is about how you behave after the whistle, and Argentina completely failed the test? This isn't a one-off, by the way, with Argentina. If you look at recent history, FIFA have already charged Argentina before for disorder and unsupporting behaviour in massive World Cup games. The Netherlands quarter-final back in 2022 is the obvious one. But you fast forward to 2026, there are more high-stake games, more confrontations that are on their record, and now this absolute embarrassment. You know, at some point, it stops becoming passion or Latin passion, and it starts becoming a cultural problem in the dressing room. You know, fight like animals for 120 minutes if you want. Yeah, we're all kind of up for that. You've got to win, and we all accept that. But when the whistle goes, you've got to walk away. You know, I always come back to boxing. You know, that's my first love when it comes to sport. If a fighter jumps his opponent after the bell, what do you think is going to happen? You're going to get reprimanded, but if it's serious, there's fines involved, there's suspensions involved. I mean, potentially his license is on the line here. I mean, the saddest thing is Argentina don't need this. You know, you're talking about the history, the legends, obviously the current one, Messi, who I thought was the only classy guy in the team. I mean, I feel so sorry for him if it is his last World Cup game. He deserves more than that. You know, he's a legend. And, you know, but what you've really got to look at here is the message this sends to the kids in Argentina, in Spain, all over the world. You know, I mean, even my son was disgusted by it. Thank goodness he has been taught football here in England by proper coaches that understand sportsmanship and discipline. Now, look, the reports say that FIFA will review the post-match brawl, and especially and quite rightly, the Paredes red card incident. If they just hand out a fine and nothing changes, that's pocket money for a federation like the AFA. I mean, is it really going to trouble them? For me, this needs proper suspensions for the worst offenders and maybe bans that stretch into qualifiers. And actually, that's the only language that these players understand. But physical violence after a World Cup final is completely unacceptable, and we need to send a message here. And I really want to close on this. You know, Tom Cruise told us this is football, that this is unity, this is greatness. And this is where I'm very proud to be an England fan. I'm gutted we lost the semi-final. We're all gutted. I'm hurting in the same way as every other England supporter. But there's one thing I would not change about our great England team, and that's their sportsmanship. In a tournament full of chaos, you know, the dark arts, people losing their heads, every single one of our players walked off that pitch with their dignity intact. They weren't swinging at opponents. They weren't chasing after the referee, just heartbreak. And handshakes, and they face the music. We can talk systems, we can debate about Tuchel, we can argue about the selections. You know, that's all healthy debate. And I've enjoyed that on this channel as I've diversified a little bit into football. But the way our England team carries itself, win or lose, they set the standard. And this should make all of us very proud indeed. And if the price of actually winning the World Cup is or not winning the World Cup, I should say, is that we keep our class while others completely lose theirs, I'll take that over lifting a trophy that's covered in shame any day of the week. Quite frankly, that's how I feel about it. And as always, guys, thanks for watching. Give us a comment, give us a like, give us a subscribe. That'd be really nice. Hope to see you on the next one. Take care.